"Don't touch me," he shouted, his voice raw with emotion. "Just leave me alone." His pacing grew more frantic, and he began muttering to himself, his words indistinguishable. He seemed to be in the grip of a terrible internal struggle. "Charlie, you need to calm down and talk to me. This can't go on." That was the tipping point. With a sudden, wild look in his eyes, Charlie stormed off into the kitchen. Desperation and panic filled me as I realized what he was about to do. "Charlie, no," I shouted, following him into the kitchen. But it was too late. He had pulled out the sharpest knife we had. I was rooted to the spot, unsure of what to do. My heart pounded in my chest as I frantically tried to remember any of the advice we'd been given on how to handle situations like this. Charlie ominously approached me, the knife gripped in his hand. He pressed the cold steel against my throat, and I could feel my pulse throbbing beneath the blade. "Charlie, please," I whispered, trying to keep my voice steady. "Put the knife down. We can talk about this." He didn't respond, his eyes glazed over and distant. At that moment, I realized I had two choices. I could let my son kill me, or I could fight back and survive. I chose the latter. As Charlie applied more pressure to the knife, I used every ounce of strength I had to grab his arm and twist it away from my throat. The sudden movement caught him off guard, and he lost his grip on the knife. It clattered to the floor as I shoved him against the wall, trying to keep him at bay. In the heat of the moment, I spotted a frying pan on the kitchen counter and grabbed it. "Charlie, please, stop," I pleaded, but his eyes remained wild and unfocused. Realizing I had no other choice, I swung the frying pan at his head, desperate to end the threat. The impact was much harder than I intended, and the sound of metal connecting with his skull echoed through the room. Charlie crumpled to the ground, unconscious, and I stared in disbelief at the scene before me. I called an ambulance, but it was too late. Charlie was gone. My beautiful boy, who I had tried so hard to protect, was dead by my own hand.